Greetings and hello. Here's number 4 from the 10-7 worksheet. Let's make sure we've got this one. So on all of these, we first isolate a radical. Okay, in this case, I could isolate either one of them. I'm going to isolate that one for no good reason than it just happens to be closest to the 0. And that'll give us 6 plus 3 times the square root of 3 plus 1 equals negative 3 times the square root of x minus 1. Second step is square both sides, or we would third power both sides, or fourth power both sides, or whatever it takes, depending on whatever radical we've got. Now I always go easy to hard, so I'm going to do this part on the right first. 9 times x minus 1. Notice that the negative 3 gets squared because it's not underneath the square root, but the square root just cancels with the square. On the left, we have two terms, so we've got to multiply it all out, make sure we get that middle term. Now I'm going to use the shortcut we learned in the first chapter, but you're welcome to write it all out and make sure you multiply it if you need to. So it's going to be 36 plus 36 square roots of 3x plus 1 plus 9 times 3x plus 1. Okay, third step is simplify. So that's going to give us 36 plus 36 square roots of 3x plus 1 plus 27x plus 9 equals, better than that, 9x minus 9, which is 36 square roots of 3x plus 1 plus 27x plus 45 equals 9x minus 9. Now we go back to the top and we do it again. We isolate a radical. So I'm going to subtract this junk over to here. And that gives me 36 square roots of 3x plus 1 equals negative 18x minus 54. Now I have some options. I can divide by that 36 right there if I'd like. But the problem with that is that that'll make fractions over here, and I don't like fractions. You certainly can do it, and it'll work. A couple of you did it on the homework. Fantastic. But what I'm going to do instead is divide by 18, because I can divide everything by 18, and it'll just make the numbers smaller. Again, you don't have to do that either. You can just go ahead and square both sides if you want. It's just the numbers get really big, and I don't want to mess with that. So now I've got 2 square roots of 3x plus 1 equals negative x minus 3. That's a whole lot easier to deal with. So now I'm on step 2. I'm going to square both sides. That gives me 4 times 3x plus 1 equals x squared plus 6x plus 9. Again, remember, make sure you remember that middle term. That can be complicated. Make sure you've got it. Now we're simplifying. 12x plus 4 equals x squared plus 6x plus 9. Now, something important is we have an x squared and an equals. When we have an x squared and an equals, that means we know we're going to set this thing equal to 0. So I'm going to subtract the 12x and subtract the 4 over here. I could have moved all the other stuff to the left, but I don't typically because I want to keep my x squared positive because it makes it easier to factor. So that's 0 equals x squared minus 6x plus 5. Factor that thing. X minus 1, x minus 5. So that's x equals 1, x equals 5. And then we think we're done. We think, oh, yay, it's over. Woo, x equals 1, x equals 5. But we don't know that. Because we squared, we actually did it twice, we've got to check. We have to. It must be done. So now I got to put both of those back in the original. All right, so let's do that. So that's going to give us 6 plus the square root of 3 times 1. 3 times the square root of 3 times 1 plus 1 plus 3 times the square root of 1 minus 1, hopefully equals 0. So that's 6 plus 3 times square root of 4 plus 3 times the square root of 0 equals 0 maybe. So that's 6 plus 3 times 2 plus 3 times 0 maybe equals 0. 6 plus 6 plus 0, I think you can see that that's not 0, so that 1 goes away. Now we'll try 5. 6 plus 3, square root of 3 times 5 plus 1, plus 3, square root of 5 minus 1, maybe equals 0. So that's 6 plus 3, square root of 16, plus 3, square root of 4 equals 0. 6 plus 3 times 4 plus 3 times 2 equals 0. 6 plus 12 plus 6 equals 0. I think you can see that's not 0 either. So that goes away. So the answer is no solution, or there is no answer. Make sure you check on the test, folks, because let me tell you, I did it 3 times on this worksheet. You know what's going to happen. Let me know how I can help. Thank you.